We stayed at the Hampton on 7 Mile Beach in the Grand Caymans. It was a really nice hotel. We didn't rent a car because we didn't want to drive on the left side of the road. It's confusing if you never did it. They had plenty of parking though if you did. We stay at a lot of Hampton Inns. This one had very good breakfast like most. The breakfast here is a little smaller than a lot of them, but you could also eat outside. They had fans and to keep you cool and the flies away. The rooms were great. We got a double room because there was a mix-up. So we had to wait one day and they gave us a double room, which had its own air conditioner in each section, including the common area. It had a TV in each room. It was great. And just so you know, you can use all your electronics. They work in the Caymans just like they do in the US, same kind of plugs. They have enough outlets by the beds and on the side of the nightstands. So that worked out great. Rooms are very spacious. They do have a safe, an ironing board. We obviously had 2 bathrooms, so 2 showers. The only drawback to this whole place is that a couple of years ago there was a hurricane which wiped out quite a bit of the beach. But to get there, there's a sand path along the hotel. And once you do get there, there is a beach. Not much of one. It's very short and limited, but you still can go out and swim, snorkel, or whatever you want to do. The positive thing is they have a shuttle service that'll take you down to any beach, and we used it 3 or 4 times, and we never had to wait more than 15 minutes. All we did was call the front desk and they would send the driver down. We didn't go in the pool at all. It's not a huge pool, but it looked nice. But in the evenings when we come back from the beach, it was pretty full. There is a bar attached to the pool that's the adjacent restaurant that's not owned by the Hampton, but you can go there, charge drinks and food to the room. We did eat there once. It was pretty good. There's 7 different beaches down 7 Mile Beach, but there's a few that you might want to avoid. Public Beach is where all the cruise ships bring their people because it has some facilities for changing. There's food trucks, you can buy souvenirs, and it is very crowded. And you can rent jet skis, you can rent boats, paddle boats, anything you want. But we kind of avoided it when we went down there twice. It was just too many people for our taste. First beach we checked out was Governor's Beach. It was really a nice beach. Everyone at the hotel recommended it. And out of the 3 beaches we went to, this was the nicest. We probably went there 3 times in the 6 days we were there. You could go at 70, 80 yards out and the water's crystal clear. You can walk all the way up probably a mile down the beach. And the best part of it, it's not overcrowded like some of the other beaches were. Highly recommend this beach. Our driver took it, I don't think it was a 10-minute drive down the road from the Hampton Inn. So highly recommend it. Not good on facilities though. They only had 2 porta potties there. There's chickens everywhere, but it's still a great beach. Cemetery Beach was a good place to snorkel. And yes, you do walk alongside an actual cemetery to get there. And yes, there are more chickens, but the beach wasn't overcrowded. The water was pretty shallow, but there was a lot of rocks and coral, so it was a good place for fish to gather looking for food. I got to see my first flounder on the bottom. I didn't have fins, so I couldn't go out very far, but everybody that was there said it was really, really good snorkeling. So the Caymans are notoriously one of the best places to snorkel, so we decided to do a snorkel trip. At the advice from our Hampton Inn people, they said that the Captain Marvel's is one of the best places to book a trip with. There's many trips that you can do. We decided to do 2 snorkels and 1 feeding the rays. After about a 20-30 minute ride out to the first spot, they have snorkel equipment. You don't need it. They have life vests. We use our own masks, but we use their fins, which actually were pretty good. I got my look at the first ray, and there's abundance of fish down there, so there's plenty to see. Got to snorkel for about 30 minutes, and then it was back on the boat onto Stingray City. After our first snorkel trip, we took another little ride, maybe 10-15 minutes, and we went to Stingray City. It's where all the stingrays hang out. It's very shallow. It's like 3 foot of water. As you can see, there's a lot of boats around. That's where all the trips bring the people. I think you spend another 20-30 minutes there. You actually get to feed the stingrays. They actually take your picture. You can kiss the stingrays if you want, which we elected not to do. But it is a neat experience. You come in contact with them. It's definitely something that you probably should do when you're in the Caymans. After feeding the rays, we had another 10-15 minute ride on the boat. We went to our second snorkel trip. As soon as we got off the boat into the water, we seen all these real pretty black fish with this blue streak. They call this the Barrier Reef, not to be confused with the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, but it was definitely worth the stop. This trip was about 3 hours long total, with the 2 snorkel stops and feeding the stingrays. And it was like $75 a person. Well worth it. Definitely do it if you go to the Caymans. That wraps up our Cayman trip. We were here for 6 days, stayed at the Hampton Inn, like I said, and it's a really nice place to stay. The people there were awesome. The weather down here is great. Beautiful beaches. We definitely will come back. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.